It's that time again. My good, bad, and ugly post. And we're doing it in a video here. Mark just texted me in our little group and said, feel free to go nuts. I don't know if I can really go nuts because I don't think this was a bad game. I'll start by saying that. I really don't think it was a bad game at all. And a lot of the comments that I've seen so far have really kind of hit the head on the nail. Matt, I thought we played all right. I thought we played better than all right, Matt. I think that we outworked them in the third. I thought the first two periods were kind of just bad at execution. I don't think the effort wasn't there. I just think the execution was bad, and that's part of why the offense never got off the ground in the first two periods. They matched them defensively. The first goal was kind of just fluky, weird. I thought it was tipped, but they gave it to Riley somehow. I guess the screen, and this is another good point. They ran out of time.
That's good.
The third line was great again, and it's been their arguably best line. Chytil with Lafreniere and Gauthier, and ever since Gauthier was called up and Chytil came back, and this line was put together, they've been incredible. They've been absolutely incredible, that line. That line has been a real good scoring line. They've played well defensively. Lafreniere, who I've been hard on for not being engaged, not being assertive, not being aggressive, he looks engaged. And I think part of that is Julien Gauthier's compete level, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But that line just seems to be clicking. They seem to be doing everything right. They've even got some goals. Julien Gauthier had a real nice goal the other game against Montreal. He needed that more than anything. He just looked really good tonight. I think, again, like I said, that whole line looked really good tonight. They keep generating chances. They keep the pressure on. The forecheck is good. They're getting the pucks deep. I know, cliche. Nobody wants to hear, get the pucks deep, play a full 60. Yeah, I know. Those lines get annoying because you hear them over and over again, especially during losses where you don't want to hear it. You want them to get straight to the point. Kind of like our honest press conferences. Shameless plug. I'm running out of words to say about that line. I know it's only a few games, but just every shift they go out there, they look like they want it. They make something happen, even if they don't score. You know what? And that's the thing. In hockey, they tell you just win each shift. And like if you watched our Ray Ferraro interview, I was watching a bit of the 93 series between you guys, the Islanders and the Penguins. And honestly, I thought that was probably the best hockey I've seen you play in your entire career. There was a look.
Thank you, and I agree.
And there was a look in your face in every highlight that they had of you and all the goals that you scored in that series. What was it about the Penguins that gave you that look in your face that you could clearly see in these highlights?
Al Arbor told us before the game, can you play even with Ron Francis for one shift? And I was like, yeah, I can do that for one shift. Sure. He's like, well, I'm not asking you to do it for the series. I'm just asking you to do it for this shift.
And you know what? That's what that line is doing. They're going out there. They're having plus shifts. And I'll call them plus. I'll call them positive shifts, whatever you want to call them. But they're good shifts. They're energetic shifts. They're shifts where they get chances. Again, it seems like these three are bringing it out of each other, and I love seeing that, and I love it. I really do. I honestly think if that line just keeps doing what they're doing, eventually that line's going to break through, and they're going to be a real good third line.
That's good.
Trouba and Kreider. I think this was their best game all year. I know that they've had other games where they were pretty good. I just don't think they were as good. Trouba and Kreider were really good together. But I thought they were one of the best pairings on the ice. Fox and Lindgren are always really good game to game, but Trouba and Miller really stuck out to me because I thought that they played very well, even though they didn't put up points or anything like that. Trouba on the second goal, I get it. I'm totally on that stop waving game. I thought Kreider played his best game of the year. I thought he looked decisive. I thought he could have scored on that one chance that he had. I thought Campbell made a good save there. where Panarin basically pulled the old step-out Kreider bank play, go off the boards, the play that D'Angelo did a couple of years ago against the Devils when Kreider scored on that backhand break-in. So that cross-corner dump-in play, that almost worked. I thought K'Andre moved the puck well. I didn't notice any like bad glaring turnovers from them on defense. Trouba, again, like I said, puck waving on the second Riley goal, but again, that's on a power play. It's on a power play. I can't kill him for it as much. If it was even strength, I'd kill him for it. Miller's learning where to pick his spots on offense better. Yes, he is. I think he's also got some confidence now. And I think part of it is going from a real good defensive coach in Jacques Martin to a new defensive coach. I believe Mike Kelly is coaching the defense. But Adam Fox has had 3 different defensive coaches in his first 3 seasons, and he's won a Norris Trophy. That's phenomenal. When you think about that, how many defenders go through 3 different defensive coaches in their first 3 seasons? You could probably count the number on them in 1 or 2 hands at most over the years. But K'Andre Miller, I think, is finally getting it. He looked like he needed to be sent down for a while there. I was definitely hard on him. But he's the last, I would say, 4 or so games in a row, he's played so much better. I think there's a lot of good to look forward to with K'Andre here. If he's able to pick this up and carry this momentum through the rest of the season, that goes such a long way for this team because that solidifies your top 4. And when your top 4 defense is solidified, you have a much better chance of winning more games.
That's good.
But that third period, they wanted it. They wanted it. They just needed more time. I say if they would have played anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes of the second period, like the way they played in the third, I think they would have probably won that game. They were that close to doing it on several occasions. Mika Zibanejad in front just couldn't get the puck to his stick a couple of times. Those could have been rebound goals, garbage goals, ugly goals, whatever. They don't ask you how. They ask you how, or they ask you how many, not how, I should say. But I thought that third period was great. Everything that they did was looking good. They got a goal out of it. They got in the second goal. I would have said it was hands down the best period of hockey they've played.
That's good.
Gallant's adjustments. You could tell that Gallant made some sort of adjustment, said something in that locker room between the second and third periods. And whatever he did, whatever he said, it worked. And there's no denying that because the passing got more crisp. The execution was better. They looked like they just had a level that they went to and they were just like, okay, we're gonna channel this and we're just gonna bring it. And they did. And I thought they played great in that third. And I got to give credit to Gallant. He pushed the right button. It just fell that much short. And they just needed just a little more time to do it. I thought they were so good in that third period. Just carry that momentum into the next game. You come out flying like that in the next game, you're going to win that next game more than likely. We might be seeing what a Jack Adams level coach can do for a team.
That's good.
The fourth line, great again. Fourth line was great. I know that a lot of people didn't like the Ryan Reeves move. Where are the haters now? Like I said, for a third-round pick, I liked that move. He was going to change the locker room. He was going to change the energy. He was going to change the culture. He has. And he played very good again. Dryden Hunt played his best game as a Ranger. And I know. Let me have it. I know because I've been so hard on Dryden Hunt.
Boo this man!
Let me have it. You can let me have it. It's fine. I deserve it. I know. But he played great. He played his best game of the season. I'm going to whisper this because I might piss off some people. Dryden Hunt has played better than Barclay Goodrow.
Oh, he's a madman. A madman!
I'm going to wait for the angry mob to come kill me now. Because I think I might have pissed off a lot of people by saying that. And I'll say it again without whispering because I don't care. Bring the heat. Dryden Hunt has played better than Barclay Goodrow. And for a $3.6 million AAV, and the experience and the winning culture and so on, Dryden Hunt has outplayed him. And I know the numbers are better for Gaudreau, but Gaudreau spent significant time in the top 6. And he gets far more minutes than Dryden Hunt. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and bash on Barclay Gaudreau because I don't think he's been terrible. I don't think he's really been great, though, either. But he needs to be better. And it's a testament to Dryden Hunt, who I've been tough on all year. But yeah, and I'm with you, Chris. Barclay Gaudreau belongs in the bottom 6. He just does. There's nothing wrong with that. You can understand that Barclay Gaudreau is not a terrible player and that, he doesn't belong in the top 6 at the same time.
That's good.
Gauthier's compete level it's really inspiring. You know what? Gauthier has been all over the place. He's been winning loose puck battles. He's fighting through the checks. He's doing the things that you need him to do to get the production that you need, and it's rubbed off on the other 2 players on that line. It really has, and I think that's only good going forward.
That's good.
Best defensive game of the season. I think, and Matthews and Tavares got the point on the second goal, and even strength, they were really good defensively, and there were no real bad defensive breakdowns. There were a couple times where moving the puck out of the zone was a little sloppy, but that's poor execution. It's not really a breakdown when you actually break it down. Pun not intended, but they were good. I thought they were really good. They weren't running around out of position. There weren't players getting crossed up. Maybe this is a sign of them finally adjusting to Gallant's system and buying in. And if that is, that's a really good thing. That is a really good thing. And then the last good point I had was just that they just needed a little more time. And I stand by it. If you would have given me 10 more minutes of hockey like they played in the third period, I think they would have won the game because Toronto was on the ropes. They really were.
That's good.
The only bad parts I say were just the Trouba stick waving on the second goal. You can't do that. You can't. You got to stop, and you got to play the body there. And you don't want to end up on YouTube. Trouba, stop waving the stick. Stop waving the stick. Frankie, what do I tell you? Don't wave the stick, right? Tell you to play the body? Can't wave the stick. Can't wave the stick. You gotta play the body on the guys. Because if you're going to do that and you're going to wave the stick, especially at this level, especially with a player as skilled as Morgan Riley offensively, you're going to get burned. Don't do it.
Ooh, that's bad.
The other bad part was the execution, actually. The execution was just bad in the first 2 periods of the game. I would say towards the end of the second period, they started getting their breakouts down, started looking a little more relaxed. Toronto wasn't giving them much space through the first, I would say, 30 to 40 minutes. I thought they played a good defensive game, but the Rangers did not. It didn't help.
Ooh, that's bad.
The ugly part, the refs.
Ugly.
And I have not complained much about the officiating. Maybe 1 or 2 calls here and there throughout these games where I say, hey, bad call. That's going to happen. But tonight was consistently bad. I would say there were 1 power play for each team, Chris. You're right. I don't like that. I think there could have been a lot of more calls. I don't mind if they play with the whistles, in the pockets and going a little more lax on the calls, but you can't miss the blatant stuff. I understand that teams get away with pick plays. Detroit was notorious for it for years. But when your pick plays are the equivalent of moving screens in basketball, then you got to start calling something because you're not letting players get through. The player has a right to go after the puck. You can't just interfere with him the whole way. And Toronto was getting away with that, but that's not even my biggest problem. 4 or 5 blatant missed calls on interference plays. Fox, Mika, and Lafreniere all got hauled down, no call. And Lafreniere was trying to get up and get away, and he was getting tugged on the whole time. He couldn't get away. When you see this stuff happening in an NHL game, make the damn call. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's not like you're getting paid $25 to ref a game so you don't care. You just want to go home. Like, you're getting paid good money to be an NHL referee. Make the call. It's not why they lost. It's really not. The first 40 minutes were just so poorly executed by the Rangers with the puck. They just never had a chance in those 40 minutes because they just couldn't make a pass, couldn't break out of the zone, and they couldn't sustain any such sort of offensive pressure aside from maybe one or two shifts. So, but the referees were terrible, and it didn't help. So,
if you like that video, we got a lot more. So check out any of these that are right over here. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Your ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.